Luxeley's the name, Guild Wars 2 is the game, and my claim to fame is certainly not a Revenant, but I'm catching it, I'm catching up to it. I'm starting to figure things out, very slowly but surely. One thing about Guild Wars 2 that I've noticed, the NPC conversations that you hear in the atmosphere, in the environment, very interesting stuff. I really wish there was more of that. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments.
Rough, and I don't want to see you getting hurt.
You kind of hear these little acronyms. Well, I don't know if that's the right word. It's not the right word, trust me. You hear these little anecdotes that are going on, and I just wish there was more of that. It almost seems like there's only one or two per tune.
What are you doing here? Don't you know Pete's on his way here to kill you?
I'm counting on it.
Always the brave one. Listen, I took your advice, and I'm getting out. Don't do something stupid like getting yourself killed before I have a chance to thank you properly.
Don't worry. I'll deal with Pete. We'll see each other again after this is all over.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Here's what I don't understand. I'm having this, girl-to-girl conversation, right? Over some kind of daiquiris, like strawberry daiquiris. And you could have thanked me right then and there, but you didn't do it. Why didn't you just thank me when you saw me? It's not like you have to wait a couple of days to thank you in advance. It'll do just fine. Uh-oh, there's the bad guys. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Did you guys ever notice this? Okay. Especially this is a rinse and repeat thing in any MMO, any RPG, or even any kind of superhero movie. Particularly Batman is famous for this, where they send the half-retarded, I know that's not politically correct, but I don't care. They send the half-retarded henchmen out to fight you first. These are the guys that they got on sale at Walmart, okay? And they get their asses kicked. They just get destroyed. Then you either fight the villain himself, or you end up fighting his right-hand number one henchman, and then you fight the villain. And this, right-hand henchman is very, very strong, but he always does something stupid that messes things up. He's someone that could probably beat you if he just didn't make a huge mistake of some kind. And that's always the case. And then the villain is the big fight, who generally probably doesn't fight fair, has some kind of trick up his sleeve, etc., etc. And it's rinse and repeat. Very much the case with any superhero movie, DC, Marvel, doesn't matter. How many people would love to see DC tunes fight Marvel tunes in a big movie? That'd be so cool. But there you go. He's dead. Now we have a little conversation.
You think you're smarter than Pete,
yes,
do ya?
I do.
Think you hurt me? Let me tell you something.
Better men than you have tried.
Tried and failed. Look, kid, I'm not easily intimidated.
Tried and died.
Huh. Maybe I underestimated you. More than you know. Prison's full, Pete. Let's skip the trial and go straight to the execution.
Whatever happened to, democracy, justice, and all that stuff? I guess that doesn't necessarily count 100%. But you see, here we go. Now we fight the villain. First we fought, the Walmart half-retarded henchman. Then we fought the, pretty competent right-hand guy. And now we fight the main villain, who's Pete. And, of course, we're going to win eventually. Soon. Perhaps. Come on, all right, I'll ruin it for you guys. I'm sorry. I mean, you know that I'm gonna beat Pete, Two-Blade Pete. I have Logan Thackeray on my side. How could I lose? I mean, look at Logan. I mean, here's a guy that looks like he's never told a joke in his life. He's all serious and stuff. And I feel bad for him because he only has one outfit. He's always wearing the same outfit. That's, I guess that's just, soldier's wages.
Very impressive, my friend. You've stopped Two-Blade Pete and run his bandits out of Divinity's reach.
Thanks. I'm just glad that Pete is out of business. Permanently.
I'm sorry about your friend, but your work here saved many lives. I'll see to it that the Queen hears of your valor. And Quinn's sacrifice.
Bragging to the Queen? Yeah. I think Quinn would have liked that.
I'll be in touch with you again soon. The Seraph can always use a friend they can trust.
I'll be ready. Thanks, Captain.
Excuse me, a bonus check works.
Say the streets just
That
got
works
a
for
lot
me.
safer.
A bonus, or maybe a great deal on shoes, and we get a pair of shoes, and we got a black lion key chest or black lion chest key. We have a letter from Logan, and what else do we have? We have some kind of a bag, embroidered coin purse. Double click to open, consumable account and on acquire, and of course we got a pair of shoes. What woman doesn't love a pair of shoes? So you get some pretty decent XP once you get through a few of these. Now let's see what we get. Cherries. Okay. Personalize some sort of winter gift, which I couldn't care less about. Transmute, not bad. Trading post, bad. I never used those for some reason. You guys use those? Did I get anything good? I can't really complain. It's not horrible. Well, that's it for the story.
I came here seeking my fortune, fishing near Triskel Quay. But I was driven into Lion Guard protection at Overlake Haven by the Toxic Alliance. Now the lake is polluted, and Etten have attacked my new home. Please, fight for Triskel Quay and Overlake Haven.
Speaking of half-wits who are like straw men, look, what do you call it? The scarecrows. Straw men, same thing, right? On the march looking for a brain, those Ettins, Those are like those, Walmart henchmen that that the villains generally have as the first wave of attack, those Ettins. So here I am, I'm level 16, and I'm basically doing a task that's a level 19 task where I'm going to run into, of course, a few level 20 tunes, and that's a bit of a problem. You can handle one, you could probably handle two. As soon as you start to run into 3 or 4, like right about now, it becomes a problem. Houston, we have a problem. This is where you start to dial 911. And then you get Spielberg answering the phone, and he's like, "Hey, guys, did you see my movie Jaws? All I know is I'm going to need a bigger boat. And I'm dead fighting for my life already with all these sharks." See, this is one of the major issues with Guild Wars 2. And a lot of veteran players, or people who've played the game for a while, or have friends that introduce them to the game that could kind of guide them around this, you go through zones, level appropriate zones, from 1 zone to 2 zones, level A, A zone, B zone, and you're doing it in the right sequence. And the problem is that you start to outpace the content. And this happens right around as low as level 5. And then you run into a situation like this, where you're facing 3 or 4 sharks that are 3 or 4 levels higher than you. And that's a problem. Now I could get myself pumped up on steroids. I could have an armor boost, a damage boost, a heal over time, all on me at one time. I could even buff up my experience if I wanted to, but I don't want to take steroids, okay? I don't want to do that, not just yet. So this is a bit of a problem. Now, this is something, as a new player, going back about 3 years ago, really turned me off to the game. And it really took me 3 attempts to get into the game and get by this. And the way I got by it was simply by going to another zone of another race, whether it be Azura or the plant people, aka the Sylvari, or going into the char zones. And then you will be downgraded to a lower level. And the reality is you'll still outpace the content. That's one way you could get around it, but as a new player, a lot of people don't know that. And this isn't the first time I said it, but I want to hammer this point home because this is something that a lot of new players don't know about, and something that a lot of new players are going to run into, especially if they don't have a guide, their own little tour guide for the game. See, here's another shark. And there's another. And I'm sure there's a third one. He's just late to the party. He didn't get the invite yet, but he's going to be coming too. See, 2 I can handle. 2 of these I can handle. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Trust me. Or I think I'll be all right. Uh-oh. Maybe I'm wrong. Usually I'm not this optimistic. Barely. Yeah, I'm dead. See? Killed by Jaws. Raise your hand if you've seen Jaws. That was like one of Spielberg's first movies, and it's a golden classic. It really is. Jaws is a great movie. If you get the opportunity, Netflix, whatever, go see Jaws. I'm a big movie fan. How about you guys? You guys movie fans? I mean, I love even just a lot of the old classics. But for some reason, I can't get into movies that were made before 1960. I don't know why. Maybe because there's a little bit of a lack of realism in those movies. You know, where the couples sleep on two separate beds. You ever see those old TV shows or even old movies, you know, where there's two beds because they couldn't, like, sleep in the same bed? That's a fact. That's a fact. You see that in a lot of the old TV shows from the 50s and the 60s where there's, you know, two you know, what do they call them? Twin beds. Hysterical. But I just can't get into stuff before 1960. Even some of the stuff from the early 60s, it's definitely before my time. But, here we go with the sharks again. But I like classic movies, even stuff from the 60s, 70s, of course, Jaws. Jaws is a really good movie. You should check it out. And it looks like I'm going to need a bigger boat again. But I can, like I say, I know I can handle 2 of these. I don't know if I can handle 3, though. I mean, sharks are pretty tough, especially in real life. That would be one terrifying experience for me, is to, like, be face to face with a shark. Not only because they're just very, very ruthless, and they have that those lifeless eyes that are just so scary, and they just seem very sharp teeth, like razor teeth, etc. It'd be terrifying. But you're also out of your element. You're out of your element because you're in the water. You know, it's not like you run into a lot of sharks on land, unless, of course, you're watching Saturday Night Live, which is something you could spin the clock back to. Land shark from the late 70s. All right, let's kill some Taninis. Or maybe not. Where'd he go? Wasn't there just a centaur there? He just, like, disappeared. It's like he got, like, maybe he got beamed up to the Enterprise. I don't quite figure that out. This is baffling. He just disappeared. Whoops. Well, we're almost done with this particular task. Hopefully we won't die for like a 3rd or 4th time here. Back in the water. And I should have about 4 sharks on me in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, they're on a cigarette break. Oh, here they are. 3 of them. I didn't even do anything. They just came at me. And now I gotta run away like I got a scraped knee and I need a Band-Aid. Mommy. Because these sharks are just driving me crazy. Can't beat them. Can't beat 3 of them. Or 4 of them in this case. Look at this. It's ridiculous. See, the underwater combat in this game is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And if you have some vision and think about the movie Aquaman, which is eventually going to come out, and somebody's going to come out with a game, the Aquaman, the game, and I think it's going to be based underwater, and someone's going to make a phone call to ArenaNet about their underwater combat as far as the movement, the animations, and even the sounds, because it's great. I just don't like underwater combat because they're coming at you from all different dimensions and sides, but from an aesthetics perspective, it's just amazing in Guild Wars 2. Let me know your thoughts. So what do we got? We got a pair of shoulders. Yay. Which I probably don't really need. A, B, C. I'll take what's behind curtain A, please. Upcoming rewards. Melissa's gonna confound me. And now I'm just gonna take a quick peek at my talents and such. Let's see. Or inventory. Alright, we'll use the shoulders, whatever. Take a peek. Here we go. Now, I haven't really gone into details about Legendary Dwarf, Demon, Centaur, or the Assassin Training, which is essentially, you know, a really buffed up anime on steroids. But when I get to full level, max level, level 80, maybe I'll make a detailed guide for the Revenant, but I don't know. I'm having a lot of... I'm learning the different professions in the game at a decent pace, but I could be learning it at a much faster pace if there was actually some kind of DPS meter in game. Aside from the one that you can get, you know, in the raid section. If anybody knows how to get to that without being in a raid group, if that's possible or something, that would be great if you could leave it in the comments and let me know, because I'd like to really make good use of that, because I just don't trust all these metas that people talk about, because when they put together those metas, it's generally based on playing in a group, and a lot of times I'm not playing in a group, and I need to survive on my own and be able to do things on my own, and the meta just doesn't work for me. Let me know if you guys have that problem if you play a lot of solo stuff like I do. But for now, we're done fishing. We're done with Jaws reviews. Thanks for watching. Have a great one, everybody.